Hello?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. Right. We're starting strong with some technical difficulties. um, yeah, Beth, we've got that massive crackle, so I would just maybe hop off for the minute. Hi everyone. Welcome to the online quiz. First time trial and error, and we're going to see how this goes. For those of you who don't know me and can't read, my name is Eric Dewey, and we are going to bring you a quiz tonight for the entire Sutton and Epsom community. It looks like we're creeping up now, nearing 100 people watching. So glad that you have gotten online for this. I'm going to run us through really quick, and if we can get Beth back on at some point to co-host this with me, we will. Going to run through really quick how this is all going to work. We're going to do a quiz. There's going to be 4 rounds. You need to be watching live. If you're seeing me, you're already doing that. Hopefully you have gathered your team. And the biggest thing that you need to know right now is captains. You need to either go to the description of the YouTube video, or the email or the Facebook event that we have posted, and you need to go, only the captain, not everyone needs to do this. You need to go to the Google form that is linked there, and you need to put in your email for prize giving purposes, your team name, and the number of people on your team. That will then give you access to the answer form. Really important thing to know about the answer form. All answers must be written in caps, and they must be spelled correctly. So if you're not good at those things, you might want to quickly redesignate somebody to be able to do that. One of the ways that we're able to run this is you can set the form to know what the answer is. So by it being all caps and you having to spell it correctly, we will be able to give you live the answer to who won the quiz at the end of this. So captains, go do that now if you haven't done it already. Hopefully the pre-instructions were clear enough that we could do that. There are some other rules that we want to address. Please don't cheat. We really want to make this a fun time for everybody. We want you to not use Google. We want you to use your brain and the knowledge that is in there. So don't post on Google, and don't post anything in the YouTube comments. Don't give answers away. Don't give away wrong answers either, because deductive reasoning, you then are giving away what is not an answer, and maybe helping people out. So we don't want to cheat. We want to make sure our captains put everything in capitalization and spelled correctly. And for our prize tonight, if you haven't seen the prize announcement, we're going to have a league lunch, table for 10 as the final prize. We're going to have 150 pounds behind the bar, and there are actually 2 ways to win. So your team can win the final prize of winning the quiz, but also anyone who up until this point or through now until the end of the quiz has given to the club's GoFundMe page. Link is also in the comment or in the description of the YouTube video. If you have given or you give between now and the end, you will be entered randomly to win that same prize. So same prize, 2 ways to win, 2 separate prizes though. And that is that. All right. Hopefully you have gotten your team on. We're 5 minutes past 8 now. We're going to start diving in. I'm just going to check quick with my my behind the scenes person. Sorry, 2 seconds. All right. We're going to go ahead and start moving forward. Oh, Beth's here. All right. Oh, and there's that crackle. Don't know if this is going to work. For those of you, someone's also just messaged me. For those of you getting huge feedback loops, I've done a quiz like this before, and one of the things we did, we had everybody mute themselves except for, or mute the YouTube except for one person who just had it turn up, and it kind of came through. So all the questions will be on the screen. You're going to be able to see them on the screen. And we're going to get going. Okay. Round 1. is a sports round, round one of four. You are going to have 60 seconds to answer each question. And we're going to go back to question one. Question one: Denise Lewis won gold at the 2000 Sydney Olympics in what event? Oh, we're jumping all over the place. Here we go. If you haven't gathered, there's going to be a lot of me sitting here waiting for you to answer questions. Round one, we've got 60 seconds to answer all the questions. You all are going to have to up your game. Round two, you've only got 30 seconds, but I want to give you all the chance to communicate, figure out what you're doing, and answer these questions. We're bringing Beth back in to try.
Let's try it.
Yeah,
Question two. What
yeah.
was the first team to win all four divisions of the English Football League? I don't have a clue.
I wouldn't know either. I barely properly follow rugby, much less the football. Right. Question three. In which sport is there a foil discipline? Yeah, we're sorry, Beth. That's got to go. In which sport is there a foil discipline? Um, I am getting some feedback that 60 seconds seems like a long time. So we may lower that and start going with 30 to 45. Um, uh, in the live comments, we've got is Steve joining? Followed by Steve. Oh, and Sam Hurley has said that a kicking session with him is up for grabs for the winner as well. I'm now wishing that I was entered to actually win the prize. Um, question four. Question four. Which city hosted the 1984 Summer Olympics? Which city hosted the 1984 Summer Olympics? Those of you who are wondering if Steve is joining, uh, thank you, Jamie, for that question. Steve Mumford gave us the gracious knowledge that he bears and decided to build this quiz for us and was really the instigator behind making sure that we put all of this together. So thank you, Steve, for that. All right, let's move on to question five. No one wants kicking lessons from Sam, Karen says. In which sport does black and blue play against red and yellow? In which sport does black and blue play against red and yellow? Right, we're only going to go with 45 seconds on this one. So you've got 5 seconds till question six. Here we go. Question six. Maybe. I have someone behind the scenes running the PowerPoint, and apparently it's not always cooperating. All right, I'm going to read you question six. It's not going to be on the screen, so I hope you can hear me. Question six is: which Englishman has managed the most Premier League matches? Which Englishman has managed the most Premier League matches? Which Englishman has managed the most Premier League matches? All right, on to question seven. Which horse is the only three-time winner of the Grand National? Which horse is the only three-time winner of the Grand National? Question eight. We're getting the computer in the other room restarted. We should be back with the live sharing of the screen as we go. Question eight. How many players are there in a rugby league team? How many players are there in a rugby league team? On this answer, as you're writing it in, I will accept both the number written as the number as well as spelled out. Both are considered acceptable answers, of course, if you get it right. How many players are there in a rugby league team? Question number nine. Question nine. In tennis, the piece of fruit found at the top of the men's Wimbledon trophy is a what? In tennis, the piece of fruit found at the top of the men's Wimbledon trophy is a what? Remember, all questions have to be answered capitalized and spelled correctly. I will, to answer James, who's messaging me, I will repeat all the questions at the end of the round to read off the last few so people know where we are. I know it's a little confusing because we lost our screen. Question six: which Englishman has managed the most Premier League matches? Question seven is: which horse is the only three-time winner of the Grand National? Question eight is: how many players are there in a rugby league team? Question nine is: in tennis, the piece of fruit found at the top of the men's Wimbledon trophy is a what? And now moving on to question 10, the final question of the sports round. At the Olympics, which country always leads the procession of nations? At the Olympics, which country always leads the procession of nations? Again, we're trying to get the questions back on the screen. That is something we're working through sorting out at the moment. When that is available again, we will put them back up. In the meantime, you are going to have to suffer through listening to me read them off. Here we are. Hopefully, we're back at it. We have now finished round one. I am going to hopefully be putting up, well, my mate's going to hopefully be putting up the recap of all the questions at the end of round one. I'm going to go ahead and start reading them. Here we are. Question one was Denise Lewis won gold at the 2000 Sydney Olympics in what event? Question two, what was the first team to win all four divisions of the English Football League? Question three, in which sport is there a foil discipline? Question four, which city hosted the 1984 Summer Olympics? Question five, in which sport does black and blue play against red and yellow? Question six, which Englishman managed the most Premier League matches? Question seven, which horse is the only three-time winner of the Grand National? Question eight, how many players are there in a rugby league team? Question nine, in tennis, the piece of fruit found at the top of the men's Wimbledon trophy is a what? Question 10, at the Olympics, which country leads the procession of nations? That brings us to the end of round one of four. I hope you are enjoying it so far. As you can see, we are figuring this out as we go. Thank you for abiding with us. We're going to have a short break between each round. And between each round, we're going to use it as a chance to talk about different things. I don't know if we're going to use the full 5 minutes here, as we've slowed down a little bit already. But we just want to highlight a couple of things between each round. Later, Pumbaa's going to get on and he's going to talk to us. We are actually going to take a moment later in the stream when the quiz is done and we're figuring out who won. Pumbaa's going to get on and talk to us. But in that time, we're going to raise a glass to some of the stalwart members of the club who we have lost in this COVID crisis. So towards the end of the quiz, make sure that during one of the breaks, probably between round 3 and 4, if you're going to go grab another beer, make sure that you've got one ready to go. To highlight a few other things that have been happening at the club. For those of you who might be joining us who don't know anything about Sutton Epsom, but you've joined because someone invited you to join, we are one of the oldest rugby clubs in the country, established in 1881. We have nearly 1,000 under 18s, 2 ladies teams, 5 men's teams, 5 or 6 sometimes on a weekend. It is a wonderful community. We cannot thank people enough for their giving to the GoFundMe. As I mentioned earlier, that is one of the ways to win the prize. If you haven't given it the GoFundMe, you can do that yet before the end of the quiz to be entered to win the prize, which is the same for the random winner and the winner of the quiz. League lunch, table for 10, and 150 pounds behind the bar down at the club. We've recently had, I'm sure you've all seen a million emails about it, but we've recently had a book written of the club's history, which I've read. It's very good. I found it really interesting. Obviously, I'm foreign. So to dig into the depths of some of the origins of rugby and to understand how deeply involved Sutton and Epsom was as a part of that was really interesting. Every Friday, we've got fruit and veg boxes for sale that you can show up down at the club, get a non-contact transaction in order to be able to buy your fruit and veg. And that has been wonderful. And on Saturdays at 10 a.m., Chris Farrell, who is our first team hooker and is also a fitness trainer, he's doing free Instagram live workout every Saturday at 10 a.m. I'm sure you can't read it, but his Twitter handle is coach_C Farrell, Farrell. Yeah. Tune in tomorrow. Hop on at 10 a.m. Start your Saturday the right way. Get that mid-morning workout in. Chris has been doing a great job with those. So we just want to highlight a handful of the things that have been happening at the club. And we are now going to move in to round 2. The timer is literally set for 30 seconds each time for this round. So we shouldn't have to make too many adjustments on that. Round 2 is a general knowledge round. Um, I forgot to mention round 1 was brought to us by our sponsor, MB Associates. Monica Bradley has been doing wonderful things. Round 2 is a general knowledge round. I believe that is brought to us by Shelley Motors, if I remember correctly. Um, I'm now wondering if our power oh, here we go, round 2, general knowledge. You're gonna have 30 seconds per question on this round. Um, question 1. What European city, I just need the name of the city. What European city is most commonly considered the chocolate capital of the world? What European city is most commonly considered the chocolate capital of the world? We're trying to get back in one more time.
Oh, we've got rid of Eric. Okay, question 12. What was the title of the first James Bond movie? Again, I don't know. I've lost every quiz I've taken part in so far. What was the title of the first James Bond movie?
We're just gonna pop us in and out like this. All right, let's go on to the next question. Sorry, I said question 1 earlier. It was question 11 of the entire quiz. Question 13. And the PowerPoint stopped working again. Okay, question 13. You're just gonna have to listen to me. I'm sorry. In words. In Romeo and Juliet, what was Juliet's last name? Question 13. In Romeo and Juliet, what was Juliet's last name? All right. Question 14. In what city was the movie of Rocky set? Question 14. In what city was the movie of Rocky set? Right. Let's move on to question 15. Question 15. Which land based animal can live for more than 150 years? Question 15. Which land based animal can live for more than 150 years? 10 more seconds. Question 16. What was Pinocchio's father's name? Remember, got to be spelled correctly if you can even remember his name. What was Pinocchio's father's name? That is question 16. Question 17. Question number 17. Who is known as the Greek goddess of love? Question 17. Who is known as the Greek goddess of love? Question number 18. What is the official language of the country of Brazil? Question 18. What is the official language of the country of Brazil? Question number 19. What nut is used to flavor amaretto liquor? What nut is used to flavor amaretto liquor? Question number 19. Question 20. Question 20. I need first and last name here. Who wrote the novel A Tale of Two Cities? Question number 20. Who wrote the novel A Tale of Two Cities? Looking for first and last name. Okay. Yep. Question 20. Who wrote the novel A Tale of Two Cities? Question number 21. Which is the first word, it's also an animal, listed in the Oxford English Dictionary? Which is the first word, which also happens to be an animal, that is listed in the Oxford English Dictionary? Question number 22. Question number 22. What color is the black box, the flight data recorder, in an airplane? What color is the black box, flight data recorder, in an airplane? That's question 22. What color is the black box, flight data recorder, in an airplane? Question number 23. What is the more common name for a Chinese gooseberry? What is the more common name for a Chinese gooseberry? Question 23. What is the more common name for a Chinese gooseberry? Question number 24. On The Simpsons, Homer Simpson works in what type of power facility? On the TV show The Simpsons, Homer Simpson works in what type of power facility? Question number 24. Question number 25. Which substance is usually associated with a 15th wedding anniversary? Which substance is usually associated with a 15th wedding anniversary? Question number 26. Question 26. In Hinduism, what name is given to the sum of one's actions carried forward from one life to the next? Question 26. In Hinduism, what name is given to the sum of one's actions carried forward from one life to the next? In Hinduism, what name is given to the sum of one's actions carried forward from one life to the next? Question number 27. Question number 27. What element in the periodic table is represented by the letter K? What element in the periodic table is represented by the letter K? What element in the periodic table is represented by the letter K? Question 28. Question number 28. Which is the biggest ocean in the world? Which is the biggest ocean in the world? Question 29. Question number 29. What are cumulus and nimbus types of? What are cumulus and nimbus types of? Question number 29. I really hope this keeps working because rounds 3 and 4 are an emoji round and a picture round. So I can't just read those off. Question 29. What are cumulus and nimbus types of? All right. we're going to move on to the final question of this round. Question 30. What is the name for a female peacock? What is the name for a female peacock? And you actually hopefully got a timer. Oh, maybe not. All right. We are going to recap all the questions from round 2 for you. As the next rounds, as I said, are emojis and pictures. We won't be recapping those, but we're going to go ahead and go back through. I'm going to read them off. Question 11. What European city is most commonly considered the chocolate capital of the world? Question 12. What was the title of the first James Bond movie? 13. In Romeo and Juliet, what was Juliet's last name? 14. In what city was the movie Rocky set? 15. Which animal can live for more than 150 years? 16. What was Pinocchio's father's name? 17. Who is known as the Greek goddess of love? 18. What is the official language of Brazil? 19. What nut flavors amaretto liquor? 20. Who wrote the novel A Tale of Two Cities? 21. Danger, Russ. Yes, it is annoying that you are texting me while I'm doing this. And now you got your shot out, so you can leave me alone. 21. What is the first word, also an animal, listed in the Oxford English Dictionary? Number 22. What color is the black box flight data recorder in an airplane? 23. What is the more common name for a Chinese gooseberry? 24. On The Simpsons, Homer Simpson works in what type of power facility? I didn't delete the answer there. Everybody should get that one right. Number 24. The answer is nuclear. If you didn't know, it's too late now. I see the mouse moving. He's going to try to delete it. 25. What substance is usually associated with the 15th wedding anniversary? In Hinduism, what name is given to the sum of one's actions carried forward from one life to the next? 27. What element in the periodic table of elements is represented by the letter K? 28. What is the biggest ocean in the world? 29. What are cumulus and nimbus types of? And 30. What is the name for a female peacock? Right. I hope you have tracked along so far. We are through the first 2 rounds. Again, we're really hoping that this keeps working for us moving forward. All right. In between the rounds this time, we're going to have a summer camp update. And hopefully Sam Phillips is going to join me right now. Sam, the man who makes summer camp happen. He is the admin guru that makes it all come together, and is a pretty darn good coach and ref from what I've seen as well. Sam, thank you for joining us.
No worries, mate. You're doing a grand job, Eric, mate. Technology is a great thing.
I'm trying. Sam, give me a quick update. Like, how has the current COVID situation affected our summer camp plans?
Yeah, so, I mean, firstly, just before I start, I want to give a massive shout out to Bob Haim. He's doing an unbelievable amount of work at the club at the moment. A lot of it's unseen. I've been involved in the club 18 years, which I appreciate is a drop on most people, but Bob Haim has been doing phenomenal stuff. So if he's listening, keep it up, mate. It's all appreciated by so many of us. But yeah, onto the camp. Look, schools reopening is a really positive thing for us. I, like many teachers, quite pleased it's half term at the moment. It's been a long half term, this one. So yeah, we're looking forward to potentially getting the camp on. But most importantly, players and coaches' safety is number one priority. We're looking at different options about what different guidelines might throw at us, and what way the camp may have to run. But we're optimistic. But as I said, safety is a #1 priority.
Yeah.
And if for whatever reason we can't run the camp this year, which I know will be gutting for many, self included, but we'll be offering full refunds, or the payment can be deferred to next year's camp as well. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But it's certainly a bridge that may have to be built at some point.
Yep. Yeah, I know you're looking at it really close. So that's kind of where we may go. What do we know about summer camp so far?
Yeah, so look, all steam ahead for a really exciting camp. We've got more first team players than ever before signed up to coach on camp, including the big man himself, Eric Dewey. Which back from popular demand after last year, 100 places have gone already on the camp.
Great.
Which is really exciting. We announced that yesterday. We imagine that most will go as people's holiday plans are thrown up in the air at the moment. But we also know that Kieran Moore has had more time than ever to plan his fancy dress outfit. So I've no doubt that they will be more epic than ever. Fingers crossed it's appropriate this year. And
it will be appropriate this year.
Well, I mean, anything goes really, Eric, doesn't it? Anything goes. It's summer camp. And then we've got the invite a friend scheme as well, which basically we're giving away beer vouchers just for you getting another kid to come onto camp, which can only be encouraged. So,
yeah. Imagine you sign your kid up and you win the quiz. You got 150 behind the bar for your league lunch, and you got more beer vouchers.
It would be a great night out.
Yeah, that'd be great. How do people actually get booked in if they're interested? Again, we've got the 100% refund policy, which is great. If people want to get booked in, how do they get book their kids in? And what ages is summer camp actually for?
Yeah, so the camps for 4 to 15-year-olds. We're few kids camps that run with that age bracket to get the youngsters in if we can. If people want to sign up, look, if they're a club member and they've missed my emails, then I mean something's gone horribly wrong. They come through like I've had hot dinners. But also you can sign up on the club website and via all the social media channels, which again have been absolutely peppered over the last few weeks, and more will come as well. Similarly, if you're at the Take the 3 challenge and you've got any questions, I'll be there from a distance and you can ask any questions. And if you've got any, and we're asking everyone to do online bookings this year, just to minimise everything that's going on.
Very good. Thanks for the update so much, Sam.
No worries.
To everyone else with the 45 seconds that you've got left, if you haven't already, run to the loo. Go grab your beer. I'll maybe give us a few minutes longer now that we've been on for a bit. People might need to use the loo, or reload on their pork scratchings or whatnot. So yeah, we will be back for round 3, which is an emoji round. I hope that you're excited about that. And we will be back in 2 minutes and 12 seconds. All right, we are back. Hopefully, we've switched. We've done some moving about during the break. We've switched over the browser that we're running the PowerPoint through. Hopefully, it stops crashing because, like I said, round 3 is a rugby player emoji round. These emojis represent a rugby player's name. This round is brought to you by Winkworth, one of our club sponsors. We love our sponsors. They're great. Can't thank you enough. We have an example. I think it's a pretty easy example. Some of these are not easy. We have an example of what a rugby player emoji looks like. So here's the example. We are going to give you a full 60 seconds on this one. So it's going to be a lot of me sat here being a little bit awkward because there's literally nothing to say other than to let you figure it out. But this example is literally it's a goat, which we've got Billy, a Billy goat, and 12 trees. So Billy 12 trees would be the answer to what these emojis represent as a rugby player's name. So this entire round, you're going to have to piece it all together, figure out what is the rugby player's name. Again, I need first and last name. And perfect spelling, which will not always be easy on these. I know because I had to write in all the answers correctly and triple checked my work. So question number, what are we on now? A lot. Oh, I don't actually have that in front of me. Question 31. You have, again, a full 60 seconds. Some of you might get it right away. Others, you might have to wrestle through what this is. Someone just messaged me. I hadn't written Billy 12 trees in capitalized. That is correct. So, but that's not an official answer on the quiz, so I don't need to. Just to read some of the comments, whether or not all the questions will be shown again at the very end of the quiz. We do not have that loaded up. We recap the questions at the end of each round. So hopefully you've got those sorted. If you join late, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to keep things moving. What are some of Joe Ridgely says I am Canadian. I'm just gonna let that be a mystery whether I'm Canadian or American. I'm not even gonna address it right now. Right, question 32. I think this might be my favorite one that Steve put together. Here you go. Figure it out. Scroll back through, see if I've missed any other questions. Are answers singular or plural? Majority are plural. There are a few questions where there were some slight spelling variations in the sense of whether or not there was an S on the end or not. And I did put both of those options within a correct answer that it would register as a correct answer. Right. Question 33. Here we are. I think this might be one of the more simple ones. I actually knew this one when Steve sent them all through. One thing I have not mentioned yet tonight is if you are posting things on social media, go ahead and tag our Instagram. If you're posting on Instagram, which is at Sutton Rugby, Oh man, look right there in the bottom. Tags at Sutton Rugby on Instagram. If you're posting things throughout the evening, we would love to be able to repost some of the things that you guys are doing and enjoying. Right. Looks like the timer paused, but I think you're either going to know this one or you're not. Moving on, question number 34. Here we go. Question 35. Question number 35. All right. Timer wasn't running on this, but I'm going to go ahead and guess that it's about time for question 36. Question number 36. Oh, I'm just seeing this question about question number 29, whether it needs to be going back to the singular or plural. Both will be accepted. Both will register as correct answers. All right, question 36. Time's running up. I know these can be tough. Question 37. Question 37. Again, these will not be repeated at the end of the round. You have just now to figure out what each emoji conglomerate means. It represents a rugby player's name. I should say professional rugby players, famous rugby players. As much as we love our stalwarts down at the club, none of them are represented in the emoji round. Here we go. Question 38. Question number 38. Question number 39. Question number 39. Nearly to the end of the round. You keep working on that. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Oh, you got it. Nearly to the last one of the round. Here we are, last one of the round. Question 40. Question 40. All right. That is the end of the emoji round. And round 3, we have one round left. We are going to go ahead and take one last break before we start moving into the end of the quiz. We're going to get Beth on to talk about the Take 3 challenge. Hopefully this works. Josh is going to get rid of me. You're tired of listening to me. Beth's going to share for a few minutes, and then we will move on to the final round.
Thanks. So hopefully this will work, but I'm sure it'll be removed if it doesn't. But yeah, a lot of you would have already seen there's an email that's been sent around and it's all been shared on our social media. But there is the Take 3 challenge, which is happening next weekend. So on Saturday 30th and Sunday the 31st of May. And basically it gives you a chance to have a kick at goal, which I think is most forwards' dream. It's a chance for me to kind of make up for that one time I decided to take a conversion and missed in front of the stick. So yeah. But the club are encouraging you to either walk, run or cycle down to the club, pay £1 to take a kick. And then for every successful kick, the Monica Bradley Associates will add £2. So that will be £3 going towards the club's hardship fund. It will be filmed. There'll be a camera set up behind. And then we'll tally up the amount, obviously, and then we'll see how much we've won at the end of the weekend. So yeah, big thank you to Monica Bradley for her sponsorship for the event. We will be complying with social distancing measures. That's why there's been an hour allocated for kind of each section. So if you check the email, they are all listed there, but 10 to 11, we have youth girls, 11 to 12, ladies. I'll be driving 47 miles just to kick one kick. 12 to 1, we've got the Colts. 1 till 4, 2, the Bees and extra Bees. 2 to 3, we've got the Swifts and the Swallows. 3 to 4, we've got the first 15. And then 4 to 5, we've got the Vets, Magpies and Supporters. And then on Sunday, continuing things on, we've got 10 to 11, under 5s and under 6. 11 to 12, under 7s and under 8s. 12 to 1, under 9s and under 10s. 1 to 2, under 11s and under 12s. 2 to 3, under 13s and under 14s. And 3 to 4, under 15s and under 16s. So this is open to all players, coaches, parents, supporters. Just turn up in your allocated slot and take the 3. We're going to have, I think, just a few minutes now before we go on to round 4. So.
Right, everyone. We are going to continue to take the last few minutes of this break. Now is the time to, again, run, use the loo. Remember, when the quiz is done and Pumbaa comes on to talk with us a little bit, we are going to raise a glass. So if you don't have a glass, I've got water. You've got whatever you've got, go get one. If it's a beer, if it's a G&T, whatever, a glass of wine, whatever you're enjoying this evening. We want to, pause and remember some of those people who are a part of our club. So go do that now. Load back up on snacks. Use the loo. We will be back here in just a little bit more than 3 minutes for our final round, which is a picture round. You're going to have to name the athlete, and their face will be pixelated out. So we will be back. All right, we are back. Um, I think there was still a couple seconds left, so I'm gonna let you all get back to where you need to be before we jump into round 4. This is a picture round. You need to name the athlete. Again, I need first and last name spelled correctly, all capitalized, all capitalized. And then Puma will come on, and while he's talking, I'm gonna start trying to figure out who won the quiz, and then we will go through all the answers, and then we'll announce the prize winners. So, okay, round 4. Round 4, you should be on question 41, captains, filling out your answers. I need to know who this person is. I need to know who this person is. There is 30 seconds on the clock. If that is not enough time, there's a little bit of delay. I'm going to give this one a little bit more. I want you to tell me whether or not 30 seconds is enough for a picture round, because this is the first time, so we're figuring it out. All right. That's been roughly 30 seconds. Is that enough time? Not enough time. I've now got to wait another 10 seconds to find out what you guys think on that, because there's a little bit of a delay. I've received no feedback. So we're moving on to question 42. 42, who is this person? I might have actually known who this one was. Here we go. We're moving on. Quick round. Question 43. All right, I am now getting feedback that we need a little bit more time. So we are going to give it a little bit more time. So once the timer's up, I'll just rough judge it of another, 15 to 20 seconds, give you closer to a minute, 45 seconds to a minute on each of these. All right, we're moving on to question 44. Question 44, we're entering into the final stretch of the quiz here. Question 44, who is that rugby player? Okay, question number 45. Question 45. Who is that athlete? Fifteen more seconds. 15 more seconds. Okay, question 46. Question 46. Just 5 more seconds. And here we go. Question 47. Final few questions of this quiz. Question 47. Who's that darts player? Thirty seconds. Okay. Final few questions. Question 48. We are on question 48. Again, we are looking for the person in the middle of the picture with their face pixelated. Ten more seconds till our penultimate question. Well, penultimate question, because there's a tiebreaker question at the end. All right, question 49. Who is that very large person? And good luck spelling his name. It is not me. Fifteen more seconds. Here we go. Last question before the tiebreaker question. Last question of this round. Last question of this round. Hopefully. Or not. We'll get to question 50 maybe. I'm hanging here as much as you guys. All right. Hold on 2 seconds. I'm going to figure out what's happening. We almost made it, everybody. We almost made it to question 50. We didn't make it to question 50. You're just going to have to leave it one short because we need the photo to be able to show you. I am going to read you the tiebreaker question. This is to be written with the numbers. You don't spell it out, just write the numbers. The question is, now I need to find it in my own sheet. Oh, I don't know. Okay. From the I've got it in my brain. From the origination of England's national rugby union team, right? So all those boys who play at Twickers. From the origination of the team until 2009, how many players played for England? From the origination of the England's international squad until 2009, how many players played for England? If there is a need for a tiebreaker, whoever answers closest to that number will win the tiebreaker. From 1871, our club started only 10 years after that. From 1871 until 2009, how many individual players played for England's national rugby union side? And now that we do have this up, we're going to let that run out. Go ahead, put your answer in, deliberate on that. We will go back and we will do question 50, and we'll give you time to answer that as well. All right, make your best guess on the tiebreaker. And here, we're going to give you a minute to deliberate on who is that tennis player. Who is that tennis player? That is question 50. $30 to go. 30 seconds left in the official question asking portion of this quiz. All right. That is it. That is time up on answering the questions for the quiz. What you need to do now, captains, you should hopefully have 51 spaces filled in, 50 normal questions and the tiebreaker on the Google form. What I need you to do, I'm going to give you another minute. I need you to submit the form. If you don't, you've done all this, submit your answers now. If you don't actually submit the form, I have no way of hopping in and pulling all the answers and figuring out who actually won the quiz. So you've got 60 seconds to do that. Do that now, please. And then Pumbaa's going to get on. He's going to share for a bit. I'm going to disappear, start trying to figure out who won. And then we're going to have Beth come on and start running us through the answers after Pumbaa's joined us. So you've got roughly 40 more seconds. Submit your answers. After 40 seconds, I'm going to close it so you can't do it anymore. Because once we start going through the answers, I don't want anyone trying to sneak in. Yep. 25 seconds. Submit your answers. Thank you all, by the way, for joining us. This has been great. I know we've been trying to figure it out as we go. We've had computer crashing issues multiple times. So thankfully, this has come off in general. It's been all right. We've made it happen. Okay. We're going to call it there. If you have not submitted your answers by now, you need to have submitted your answers. Okay. Click submit. If you've been scrambling trying to write in the last few words, click submit. We are now going to bring Pumbaa onto the chat, hopefully. I'm hoping he's waiting in the wings, ready to go. Here he is.
Here I am. Can you hear me, Eric?
Yeah, I can hear you. There you are.
There we go. We have the technology.
Very good. I'm gonna let you run with it, man. You say what you need to say.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, first of all, I think the whole club owes Beth and Eric particularly for holding the fort tonight, and everybody else behind the scenes that helped make this quiz. Steve, that helped make this quiz work. A massive round of applause because they've been absolutely top brass tonight, and it's been a great experience. I could see we've got about 125 people on at points tonight. And they're all part of teams and things like that. So well done, very well done, Eric. So congratulations on that. I just wanted to come on as well and say a huge thank you to the club for the way that we have all stayed together as a community during these difficult times, and the things that we have done to both for our teams, the number of pass the ball challenges that have gone on, the number of virtual prize givings that have happened during all of these things have been fantastic, and I've been getting snippets and videos sent to me all the time, and it's been absolutely brilliant. I managed to jump on a couple as well, so it's absolutely brilliant the way that we've tried to keep our usual traditions at the end of the season running as best we can during these difficult times. Again, as we've already heard earlier, Bob Haynes been working incredibly hard in the background, both with the fruit and veg, which has raised good club funds for us, but has provided a really good service, which has been very popular for the membership as well. Helped by Chris Munro and Mick White and Teddy and Jobs as well. So they've done fantastic stuff as well. All of your committee are working really hard in the background and to try and plan for the future. Come up with ideas and just keep the ship ticking over until we can all get back together again. One of the big things, the GoFundMe account that we set up, we did that in the hope that we could raise a few pounds. We've absolutely smashed our target that we were looking to do, and we didn't think we would actually get that close to that. So that's been incredible, and that's just pure generosity from people all over the world that have donated from as far away as Canada, New Zealand, Australia, places like that, as well as all over this country, and as well as our local community. And they've just basically we've knocked it out of the park. And what that means for us is that means as a club we have definitely got a future. It means as a committee we can plan for what we're going to do next year, because we don't have to just watch the pennies to get us through the next few months. We're actually now in a stable position to go into next season whenever that might start. It also means that it just gives us the freedom to carry on the club and to say that we're 100% secure, because it's quite clear to us that this club means as much to everybody that's in it as it does to all of us that are working for it as well. On top of that, the committee have been working really hard to get grants in for the work that we do in our juniors and minis through Jack Petchy. We've also got a massive Sports England grant just come in as well. That was for £8,500. Jack Petchy was a few £1,000s because of the work that we do volunteering within our junior section. Epsom Borough Council have given us 10,000 as well, and Surrey Rugby have given us a few thousand as well. And all those people together have meant we've actually nearly doubled the amount we've done for our own GoFundMe. And that means that we can start doing some work that was needed to be done that we had to put on hold around the club. Some much needed refurbishments and upgrades to essential facilities. It means that we are in a good place as well to go forward into next season, whenever that might be. We're obviously working to try and get everyone back on the pitch as quickly as we can. We are working with Surrey Rugby and the RFU and ways to do that, because it's one of the largest clubs that want to hear what we've got to say, and that's really important to us. You know, they're the things that we've been doing in the background, and none of those things could happen if it wasn't for the generosity of our members. So thank you to every single person that has donated, that has picked up a job behind the scenes, has given their time. Guy has got an army of volunteers doing maintenance jobs and stuff around the club, and just get in touch with Guy Halford if you want to help out with that as well. But every little thing we do is making a huge difference in times like these. It is unfortunate that with something like this, not everyone's going to be here to see our restart. We have unfortunately lost Andy Palmer, Ted Elford, and Dave Steele as well. All three massive club men that have been members of the club for a long time, and been part of our history, and have actually helped us to get to where we are today. That circle of life goes around though, because on the good news side, Richard and Jane Meadows gave birth to little Elena, or Eleanor, sorry, I should say, about 4 weeks ago. And so there's the next Kinders coach who's sorted out. So congratulations to them. So basically, I would just like to finish off by saying thank you, everybody. We will be back together soon. And I'm just going to raise a glass to those that are no longer with us, to those that are now in our family, and to our future Sutton Epsom Rugby Club. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you, Pumbaa. All right. Everyone has submitted their answers. I am sorting through all of that right now as we try to figure out our winner. We are going to go ahead. I've shut down. You can't submit the form anymore. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to start going through some of the answers. I'm going to have Beth. I'm going to get out of here. Beth's going to come in. She's going to start giving us some of the answers for the round. And I'm going to go keep trying to figure out what the final result was. And we're going to come back eventually with the winner of the quiz, as well as the winner of the random GoFundMe drawing as well. Beth, take it away.
Thanks. Okay, so hopefully the answers will pop on the screen because I don't know them. So question 1, Denise Lewis won gold at the 2000 Sydney Olympics in what event? The answer is heptathlon. Question 2, what was the first team to win all 4 divisions of the English Football League? And the answer is Wolverhampton Wanderers. Interesting. Question 3, in which sport is there a foil discipline? And the answer is fencing. I learned that yesterday. Question 4, which city hosted the 1984 Summer Olympic Games? And the answer is Los Angeles. Question 5, in which sport does black and blue play against red and yellow? Croquet. Something interesting. Okay, question 6, which Englishman has managed the most Premier League matches? Harry Redknapp. Question 7, which horse is the only 3-time winner of the Grand National? The answer is Red Rum. Question 8, how many players are there in a rugby league team? 13. 9, in tennis, the piece of fruit found on the top of the men's Wimbledon trophy is what? A pineapple. I thought it was an acorn. It's not fruit though, is it? Okay, question 10. At the Olympics, which country always leads the procession of nations? Greece. Okay, that are the answers for round 1. And then hopefully we'll go on to round 2. Brilliant. Okay, so round 2, general knowledge round. Question 11. What European city is most commonly considered the chocolate capital of the world? Brussels. I got that wrong. Question 12. What was the title of the first James Bond movie? Dr. No. Question 13. In Romeo and Juliet, what was Juliet's last name? Capulet. Question 14. In what city was the movie Rocky set? Philadelphia. Question 15. Which animal can live for more than 150 years? Tortoise. I thought it was an elephant. This is why I lose. Question 16. What was Pinocchio's father's name? Geppetto? I probably pronounced that wrong, but there we are. Question 17. Who is known as the Greek goddess of love? Aphrodite. Question 18. What is the official language of Brazil? Portuguese. Question 19. What nut flavours amaretto liqueur? Almond. I knew that one. Question 20. Who wrote the novel A Tale of Two Cities? Charles Dickens. Question 21. Which is the first word, also an animal, listed in the Oxford English Dictionary? I cannot pronounce that. What this says. He tricked me on that. Question 22. What colour is the black box flight data recorded in an aeroplane? And that is orange. Question 23. What is the more common name for a Chinese gooseberry? Kiwi. Question 24. On The Simpsons, Homer Simpson works in what type of power facility? Nuclear. I knew that, thanks to my sister. 25. Which substance is usually associated with a 15th wedding anniversary? Crystal. 26. In Hinduism, what name is given to the sum of one's actions carried forward from one life to the next? Karma. 27. What element in the periodic table of elements is represented by the letter K? Potassium. 28. Which is the biggest ocean in the world? The Pacific. 29. What are cumulus and nimbus types of clouds? Question. As you can tell, I'm quite surprised by these answers. Question 30. What is the name for a female peacock? Peahen. There we are. Those are the questions for rounds 1 and 2. So hopefully you've spelt them all correctly on the Google form, and they will obviously give you points. And I believe Eric is going to join us now for question 3.
Yeah, I'm going to take
Round
us
3,
through rounds 3 and 4. Beth, thank you for being available this whole evening. I know
I've learned a lot.
It's not gone as smooth technically as we would have hoped, but thank you so much for being on and making yourself available to help. All right, let's go on to question 31, emojis round. The answer to this, can you hazard a guess, Beth? Well, hopefully this is going to work with both of us for now. Can you hazard a guess?
Ted.
Yeah. What's the like the plush toy version of that?
Okay, like Teddy.
Yeah.
Did I see this one yesterday? I feel like Teddy Thomas?
Yes, Teddy Thomas. Teddy Thomas is the answer to question 31. Question 32. I think this was my favorite one that Steve came up with. So that is a mother, or ma, G for Maggie. You kind of got to slur it all together. That is a pint of ale, 2 phones, and an I. So the answer is Maggie Alfonsi. Maggie Alfonsi. There were people who got that correct. And if it's just dawning on you, these are both men and women rugby players. Question 33. I thought this was the Teddy Thomas one was pretty obvious, but I thought this one was pretty easy. This is Stuart Hogg. Stuart Hogg.
Not Stuart Bacon.
Not Stuart Bacon. Question 34. Mike Phillips. Mike Phillips. And I think I put it so the answer is because we didn't put an S on the end. If you didn't put the S, you still got it right. All right. Question 35. Any clue, Beth?
No idea, literally. Something car rat.
Emily.
Oh, Emily Scarrett.
Emily Scarrett. S car rat. Emily Scarrett. Very good. Now, this is where it got a little tricky because we used a strawberry both as a berry and in this instance represents jam. So you have Jamie Heaslip. Jamie Heaslip. Little more difficult. Any clue on this one?
No idea.
What's Santa's name? Good old Chris Kringle. Chris.
Okay.
Fire makes ash. And then we've got a ton of weight. Chris Ashton. Chris Ashton. For everybody who's like livid at these right now, I didn't come up with them. I'm just the messenger. So you can be mad at Steve Munford, but you can't because the guy's great. All right, question 38. Any idea?
No, I don't even know what flag that is. That's how bad I am at
It's France.
life. Okay.
So it's Francois Hugard. Or Hugard. You wouldn't say it, Hugard. Francois Hugard. Question 39.
Sunny.
We had a lot of people put Sonny Bill Williams. But it's actually that's not sun, that's the day. Knee. It's not a leg, it's a knee. Danielle
Waterman.
Danielle Waterman. Yep. Danielle Waterman. Question 40. This is where the strawberry is an actual berry. What's a baby kangaroo?
I have no idea. Roo? Yeah.
They're known as joeys. So a baby roo is a joey. So we have Joey Carberry. Joey Carberry. And I Googled that multiple times and I'm 90% sure. I'm Googling multiple times. I'm still only 90% sure there's only one R in Carberry. Okay. I would have done, had I not been facilitating this and I was doing this, I would have done very, very poorly in rounds 3 and 4. But here we go. Question 41. Who is that footballer? Alex Scott. That is Alex Scott. Question 42. I would have gotten this one, actually. This is Ben Stokes. It's Ben Stokes. About the only cricketer I actually know. I would have gotten this one, too. Now I'm like, I wouldn't have done it. This is John Daly wearing those bright red, white, and blue trousers there. Again, I will neither confirm or deny whether I'm American or Canadian at this point in time. But it's John Daly. Question 44. Oh, see, Incy's putting answers in. No, Terry, right? Question 44. Who is this rugby player? Morgan Parra. Morgan Parra. Question 45. Beth, any clues?
I want to say Jessica Ennis Hill, but I'm not sure.
Nope. Nope. Answer, Sally Gunnell.
I don't even know who that is.
Well,
This is why I score so badly.
It's a
on every quiz I
throwback.
do.
That's Barcelona, which is back in the 90s. So, question 46. Snooker player, any ideas?
I know I do quite like a snooker, but no, I'm not very.
Peter Ebden.
Dude.
Peter Ebden. I'm like, unless it was Ronnie, I don't think I would have known who it was. All right, question 46. This darts player, he's got the beard, he's got the mullet. Simon Whitlock. Simon Whitlock. If I knew darts players, I'm pretty sure I would have known who that was, but I don't. All right, question 48, nearing the end.
I know this one. That's Tracy Neville.
It is.
Yeah.
That is Tracy Neville.
I'm a netballer.
Tracy Neville. 49. Any clue?
No idea.
This is Nikolai Valuev. I'm not actually sure how to say his last name.
Did anyone spell that right?
It's a good question. You read off the answer to the next question. I'll go see if anyone actually spelled it right.
Okay, question 50.
Yes, people did. People did
Oh, wow.
spell that right.
I don't know who this is.
That is Johanna Konta. Johanna Konta, right? That is our 50. And the tiebreaker does matter because it did come down to the tiebreaker. Nobody had a perfect score. Nobody had a perfect score. We had a very, very tight top of the table. There were several teams in the lots of teams in the 30s. There were 2 teams that had 39 correct, and there were 2 teams that had 40 correct. So there were two teams out there that had 40 of 50. One of them was actually very close to the right answer on this. One was not. And that was, in fact, the tiebreaker. So the answer to the tiebreaker is of how many players have played for England, rugby union, since 1871 to 2009 was 1,319. 1,319. So those are the answers. Thank you all for participating. We are now going to announce our winners. I'm going to start with who won the random drawing. Unfortunately, we don't have any fancy spinny wheel, but of all the GoFundMe, I had our club treasurer go in and pull all the names and throw them in a random generator. So the first person to win a league lunch table for 10 and 150 pounds behind the bar is Gareth Jones. So congratulations, Gareth. I hope that you can invite some people down and make good use of that league lunch. Congratulations. And I did sent notices out to any team I was a part of the chat of about the emails I had received about making sure this was family friendly. So the winning team, I can't actually say their team name because it's not family friendly. And they're going to be like, what do you mean it's not family friendly? It's not family friendly. But based off of the email, which I believe has the person's name in it, Nick Stevens, your team has won. You won. Yeah, censored. We will email you about having won the prize. I will, it was very tight there at the end, but they were actually within like almost a dozen of that final tiebreaker question. The other team, you were right in it. I don't even know if I want to tell you who you are. You probably know.
Do it.
Anyone but Dorking. you lost on the tiebreaker. I'm sorry. This has been a great quiz. I have to actually look through the team names and see how many of them I may or may not need to censor before we were to put them on social media. But I will look at getting the full results out in the next couple days on social media. So keep your eyes peeled there if you want to know where you fell in the rankings of all of this. I know we've gone a little over. I apologize for that. First time doing it. I guessed an hour and a half. We've gone longer than that. I hope you've enjoyed your evening. I should not clap. That'll set the mic off. I hope you've enjoyed your evening. I hope this has been good. Thank you so much again for everyone who's given to the GoFundMe, who joined in tonight. I hope you've had a good time. Yeah, go ahead and tag again. If you've been posting stuff, tag Sutton Rugby. We'll repost some stuff hopefully here over the next day or so. And if in the emails you saw serfcmedia@gmail.com. If you have feedback on how this went, I don't know whether we're going to do this again. There's a chance that it'll happen again at sometime in the future. If you have feedback on, were questions appropriately timed lengthwise, I know we've got some stuff to iron out that we're aware of, but we're open to feedback, hoping to look to the future. All right. Thank you so much. My phone's starting to blow up. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna end this. Beth, thank you again, everybody.
Thank you,
I hope
Eric.
you have a great evening.
Stay safe, everyone.